Good morning, here's Kramer's Corner with the daily technical update. It is Wednesday the 10th of January. Yesterday was a fairly quiet day on the US markets. Internally we had a positive day, but we closed a little bit lower on the S&P 500, but the rebound picture is still intact, and we need to have the RSI back above the rising trend line, but it is back above 60 threshold, so it is in a positive sentiment, and I believe over the next couple of days we could see it moving higher and test previous peak, possibly also make a new high here above 4,800. On the Nasdaq, that was also a fairly positive day, ending up just less than 0.2%, reaching the 61.8 retracement of this sell-off here we saw to begin the new year. I think we also will move over higher here the next couple of days. We still need the RSI back above 60. That will further confirm the uptrend scenario in Europe. EUROSTOXX 50. And in general in Europe, it's fairly muted. In general, we have EUROSTOXX 50 here still trading water. I wouldn't say it has resumed uptrend because it hasn't. I would like to see the RSI breaking above its falling trend line and also above the 60 before I really call that one. And we should move above 450. 4,550, and ideally also take out this one. Then it's definitely cancelled the downtrend picture. So European market still a little bit under pressure here. DAX could be resuming uptrend. The RSI is hovering around the 60 at the moment. I think we need to have all that above the upper falling trend line before we go bullish on DAX again and move higher as to follow there. The Amsterdam market also a little bit with a little bit to the heavy side. I want to see it back above 781 before I believe that we will see the uptrend resuming. On the Belgian market, 3,742. That's the resistance at the moment. I want to see a break above that before I believe we are back in bullish sentiment right there. On the CAC40, it is positive for the market. That is still above 7,405. Hasn't closed below. It dipped below a couple of times, even yesterday, but every single day they managed to close above. But there is downside risk to around 7,300. But let's see here the next couple of days. We should see it crawling a little bit higher. On the Swiss markets, starting to build an uptrend. We are in the positive area also on the RSI, so we are, in overall terms, we are in an uptrend, as you can see, higher highs, higher low, higher high, possibly also building here, but it needs to take out the 786 retracement there and for a move higher above 11,400. Euro dollar still trading in this range between 110 and 108.80, and that is the range it needs to break out of. First clue that it will break bearish out would be that it is breaking below the lower rising trend line here. But as mentioned previously, we have the 55 coming up, the moving averages here, and the 200 also a little bit flat, but still giving some support. So the downside risk is fairly limited, I believe. I think we will see a break out to the upside and at least a test of 110. Also cable here, sterling dollar, still a little bit, I wouldn't say bearish because it really isn't. We are still in an uptrend with higher highs and higher lows, but it is below this rising trend line here. Can't really get its mojo together and move above 128.20 again, but also 126.10 is the lower range to look out for. As previously mentioned, we have the 200 moving average coming up. We have the 100 coming up down here, and 55 more steepening coming up here. And now it's actually breaking above the 200, forming a gold cross, which is a positive sign. So I think we'll see cable moving higher in coming days and weeks. Yen pairs are interesting today because the dollar yen is currently testing the 144.95 resistance once again. We saw here a few days ago it actually spiked higher, but it closed below. If we can close above today, well, then there's room up to at least 146.60, possibly up to 147.5. If it slides back again, look out for a break below 142.85. But I favor the upside, I must say. Also, Euro Yen currently above resistance here at 158.55. I think we can move higher. We'd like to see RSI back above 60 for confirmation of that. But if it does close above 158.55, then we are in a bullish trend. It is fragile, however, but there should be room to 160, possibly to 162 level. Aussie yen, not really there yet, but again, 97.58 resistant, that should be observed. I think it will be tested fairly shortly. Sterling yen, testing 184.32 resistance, close above and a close above on the RSI 60 here. Well, then we are in a bullish mode and sentiment and in uptrend. Aussie spiked the other day lower to the 61.8 retracement of this little leg up here. I think we will see it slowly crawling higher back towards the 68 and possibly also 69 here in coming days and weeks. If it does take out the lows here from the 5th of January at 66.40, well, then we are looking at lower levels in the 65.5 range down here, 65.25. Then finally, let's have a look at the dollar index. Dollar index also trading sideways. I want to see a breakout of the trading range from the 5th of January between 102.83 and 101.62 before I make my mind up a direction, and that's more or less the same as the trading range on euro dollar that needs to be broken. Gold is also fairly muted, trading sideways here. Support at the 2017 level, which is the 61.8 retracement. If it takes out that level to the downside, well, then we are looking at the 2000 level down here, and I think that will be it. It's not unlikely we'll dip down there if some volatility hits the mile again. To the upside, if it starts crawling higher, a break about 2064, well, then I think we will move higher, also taking out this peak here that we saw over the Christmas holidays at 2088, potentially moving towards the 2100. So that's the range to look out for on the short term. Silver, amazingly, dipping below 23 every single day for the past week, but can't close below. So we are still holding on a little bit. I mean, we are in a little bit of a depressed mode, I would say, because we do have the RSI in a negative sentiment, but it seems like it's not really following through with a massive sell-off. But look out for that. If it starts moving higher towards the 23.5 and trades above this area here where we have the 255 moving averages kind of colliding here, then it could be a break to the upside. But again, look out for taking out these levels here, and look out for RSI dipping below the 60 again. Platinum overshooting the 61.8 retracement at 937. Will it move to the 786 retracement? It is debatable, since we have the RSI testing the 40 threshold here. Could bounce off here, and move back above. I think if we see a move back above, excuse me, 952, 960, well, then we are back in a bullish mode. And what is interesting is that the RSI is still in a positive sentiment. It hasn't closed below 40, so we're still in a positive sentiment. There's no divergence on the RSI. We should see it move higher, but again, trust the price action, and it is actually a little bit depressed at the moment. But if it starts moving back above this rising trend line and back above 952, then we could get some upside back into it again. Also, copper, very close to test this trend line here that I think we can more or less delete. could dip down to the 375 level. But look at this, we have the RSI still in a positive sentiment. If it doesn't close below, then I think we'll see a bit of a rebound here in copper. On the energy market, we have oil not really doing much, trading in this range here between, we have WTI trading between 69 and 74. We have Brent trading in the range between 74.80 and 79, and that is the breakout. A breakout I want to see right there. Otherwise, it's not really much is happening. Finally, on the US 10-year. Slowly sliding lower. I think we could see it sliding lower, maybe a little bit. Let's see if we do add the bit of a Fibonacci there. I need to adjust that a little bit. So I think 390 could be tested here within the next couple of days. So look out for that level, and 410 is the strong resistance on the upside. All right, that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening. Have a nice day and happy trading.